Andrew Petrillis, you can call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or email us at underinvestigation@9.com.au. Thank you all very much for joining us, and I thank you. I'm Liz Hayes. Good night.
The shooting that left one man dead and a cop charged and acquitted of murder.
When are we going to get justice?
How did the system let this happen?
Those two men should never have been face to face.
Astonishing body cam footage
It looks like a community under siege.
reveals the truth.
What happens next is so shocking.
Must see Under Investigation next Wednesday.
Hello everyone, welcome to Footy Classified. What a big week it has been in football. You better believe it. We're going to get through a lot of topics tonight. First of all, we're going to have a look at Tasmania. Damien Barrett already has found out what's going on as the other 18 clubs try to circumvent them getting all their players. So already everyone's thinking about it. Matthew Lloyd's going to have a deep dive on the Magpies and also on the West Coast Eagles is this man, Jimmy Bartell. But let's get into the Pies straight away. Matthew, let's have a look at the ins and outs for the game tomorrow night. Collingwood versus St Kilda. The reigning champions are 0-2, as we all know. Billy Frampton, Tom Mitchell, Reece McGuinness in. Now, I like that. I reckon Frampton should have been at fullback right from the word go this year. McGuinness comes in for Ash Johnson, who hasn't been able to get near it the first couple of weeks. Charlie Dean has his start. Hoskinelli's an interesting one today. Craig McRae said he's a role player, was loath to leave him out, but has because he doesn't fit into what they need to do against the Saints. Sinclair back, the captain for St Kilda, and Zach Jones, two ripping ins. Crouch 15 possessions omitted. The Collard is out as well for this big game. Right, Lloydie, the Pies, where are we?
Well, you start to think about it, Ed, and you start to ask a lot of questions. So, can the wheel turn for them, or is it deep-seated than that? And I started to think about, apart from Nick Dacos, who is their best young player? Josh Dacos is very special. They've got a fantastic list, but did they just get it right at the right time of the year? And have they not got another one in them in regards to, I look at Geelong's premiership year, and they just were 28 years of age, and now they've tried to regenerate to go again. I look at Collingwood, they were 27 last year, and so they've got 8 players tomorrow night, Damo, who are over the 30-year age bracket.
And I think people forget also, Lloydie, that Collingwood, the season when Bucks got the chop, that was the misnomer that year. I mean, Collingwood had gone 2018 premiership, 2019 preliminary final, were going really well, and then COVID hit, but got through final, won the game against West Coast Eagles, the last game the West Coast Eagles played when they're any good. And then things, whether it was COVID, a lot of teams fell off. Then Craig McRae comes in, the new broom comes through Collingwood, and bang, they find their march and win the flag. So they've been going well for a while.
There's lots of little things, I think, which are becoming a big thing. I mean, you've obviously got Murphy out, McStay out. They've played 2 really good football teams, Sydney Swans, GWS, and then we've known now since late December, at least publicly, that Graham Wright was leaving. Now, he's left 2 weeks ago, and filling his roles has been combined by a lot of people, but particularly Brendan Bolton and Justin Lepich. And it hasn't been smooth. I don't think anyone expected it to be smooth. No one knows how it's going to look. Craig Kelly, the CEO, is now getting more hands-on with the football involvement, more so than he was last year when they won a premiership. It's just these little things building up, and there has been some friction within that footy department. I mean, friction in footy departments can be a healthy and a good thing, and they're actually embracing that side of it as they seek to cover Graham Wright. And as it stands, here we go.
Where's the friction?
With Lepich and Bolton and the new roles they've got. Yeah, particularly Justin Lepich.
So is there only negative friction because they've lost the 2 games?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Or is it negative friction because one wanted more power and didn't get it?
I believe that to be the case, Ed. Yeah, but Brendan Bolton's been given most of the responsibilities, or most of the high-end responsibilities that have been vacated by Graham Wright, and how that looks. And equally, Graham Wright is coming back in early September,
Just
and
on
will
that.
come back to the same role
Just
from what the club has
On
said.
that, Anna, can I ask you the question? I made this point on Monday night. If head of football, as good as he may well be, come up to me and said, "Hey, can I have the year off and I'll be back in September?" I'd start looking for a new head of football. What's your view on that?
The only thing is, there's not a Melbourne Cup field of them. And I think with Graham Wright, what he needed was that break, and then he wants to come back. If he said, I don't want to do
Well,
it.
what he did say, he offered his resignation. And Craig Kelly went on record with this yesterday that he and Jeff Brown, the chair of the club, went back to him and said, "No, look, you don't have your break. We'll make it long service, but come back. We want you to come back."
And Lordy, a lot of the good things that happen in football clubs behind the scenes often happen when things aren't going well, and you get whacked for it. You know, if you change your list up and different things, you get clobbered, and then everyone goes, "Oh, magically it all worked" a couple of years later. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he's worth persevering with, but they've got to get it right now. So Craig Kelly's gone in, obviously, to try and step in.
He has, and he's hands-on in meetings. Now, he's saying he's not having a say in selection, but he's overseeing that type of meeting, analyst management. Jimmy, the talk that got big just before the first game about the over-celebration, or the extensive celebrations time-wise into the new season out of the premiership success, it was driven largely and loudly by someone very well known in this panel who now works at Channel 9 this year on Footy Furnace in Lee Matthews, and the connection that he's got with Craig McRae as a three-time coach of his three premierships, and equally Craig Kelly, who he coached at Collingwood. And Lepich as well. So the club can't fight back like it would if it's just a normal media person.
It's not. It's Lee Matthews.
It's Lee Matthews, and this is what he did say on Footy Furnace.